Trump's bold claim, Harris's laugh reveals her craziness. Experts say that the focus on Vice President Kamala Harris's laugh is the latest tactic in a long-standing practice of dismissing women's emotions as hysterical. Vice President Kamala Harris has faced criticism related to her race, gender, and parental status and most recently, her laugh. With conservatives recently labeling her laugh as crazy, nuts, and a cackle, the language used to describe it is both charged and rooted in sexism, according to experts. During a campaign stop last week, former President Donald Trump ridiculed Harris's laugh, referring to her as Laughing Kamala. "You can tell a lot from a laugh," he said. "She's crazy, she's nuts." Last week, the National Republican Senatorial Committee released a memo that pointed out perceived weaknesses in the Democratic camp. The final section read, "Weird," in response to Harris's campaign using the same term against Trump and Vance, and included bullet points such as Kamala Harris has a tendency to laugh at inappropriate moments. Experts argue that the intense scrutiny of Harris is a clear example of misogyny, with the practice of branding powerful women as crazy being a long-standing tradition. This can be traced back to the 19th century when women were diagnosed with hysteria for laughing too much, an early attack on female pleasure and enjoyment. In more recent times, Trump's 2016 campaign ads included setting Hillary Clinton's laughter to ominous background music. According to Onika Law-Bennett, an associate professor of gender and sexuality studies at the University of Southern California, there is an additional racial component to consider. She commented that while the discomfort around black and brown joy is disheartening, it is not unexpected. Law-Bennett explained, she is confronting these intersectional forms of racism and misogyny. The derision of her laughter is a covert way of expressing, this woman has the audacity to be joyful in public. How dare she? Law-Bennett noted that accusations of being crazy or hysterical are not new in the political sphere or in the lives of women more broadly. For black and brown women in particular, she pointed out that showing emotions in public can result in concrete repercussions, such as noise complaints and more severe policing. In politics, similar stereotypes are at work. When black women, such as Michelle Obama, offer any critiques of American society, they are often labeled as angry black women, she stated. Conversely, when Harris shows joy, she is demonized and ridiculed for her laughter. In response to NBC News inquiries, the Trump campaign stated, "President Trump is a truth teller, and nothing is more unifying than exposing the truth about a weak, failed, incompetent, and dangerously liberal Kamala Harris and her harmful policies," said Stephen Chung, Trump campaign communications director. Right-wing media figures have also incorporated Harris's laughter into their narratives. Recently, Fox News host Sean Hannity devoted an entire segment to discussing why voters disapprove of the vice president, which was filled with footage of her laughing. Law-Bennett remarked, "It's a catch-22, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can't be too serious, but you also can't be too joyful." On TikTok, her laughter has featured in the background of viral sounds that have gained popularity in the weeks since she became the unofficial nominee. The discourse around these clips has been largely positive. In past interviews, Harris has mentioned that she cherishes her hearty belly laughs. "People love to talk about the way I laugh," Harris said during an appearance on the Drew Barrymore show in May. "I have my mother's laugh. I grew up surrounded by a lot of women who laughed from their bellies. I think it's really important to remind each other and the younger generation not to be confined by other people's perceptions of what things should look like or how you should act in order to fit in." Harris's supporters and online experts swiftly pointed out what they perceive as a double standard. "Labeling a woman's laughter as an issue is a gendered insult," tweeted Jennifer Taylor Skinner, creator of the woman-focused political podcast Electorette. "Unfortunately, this is something I've observed happening with VP Harris from both sides of the aisle." Feminist author Gina Barrica, known for her writings on gender and humor, stated that Harris's laughter exudes confidence, which unsettles men. "Women's laughter symbolizes independence, freedom, and audacity," she wrote on X. In contrast, Law Bennett noted that Trump is not held to the same standards or scrutiny regarding his emotional expressions. "Donald Trump rarely laughs," she said. "I don't think I've ever seen him laugh heartily like Harris does. But if she never laughed, if she were stoic or serious all the time, she would be stereotyped as an angry black woman." Ultimately, Law Bennett said Harris's laugh is an asset when it comes to connecting with voters. "Typically, in American politics, authenticity is a valuable trait," she said. "For those interested in her as a candidate, her laugh has become a symbol of her genuineness. It conveys the message, 'Oh, this is a real person, just like everyone else.'"